Welcome to another episode of Boat Snoop. I'm your host, Clinton Johnson, and I'm glad to be back with you guys. And what I have for you today is kind of near and dear to my heart. It's a Catalina sailboat. And maybe I'll roll on a little bit about why I like Catalinas so much. But what we have today, we have a Catalina 30 tall rig with a bowsprit, and it's a Mark I. And she's 1979, and she has a lot of great things going for her. So I'm excited because this is the first video that I'm doing for this channel on a Catalina 30. Let's take a look at it. So this Catalina 30 tall rig, her name is Fun Work. And something to start with on this boat is that is not blue paint. That is actually gel coat. And even her white little boot stripe and all that, that is all gel coat. And so you can just buff it out, and you just keep up with it. She's going to look beautiful for a long time to come. Now, being a tall rig, she does have a taller mast, and she at the forward end, she has that bowsprit. We'll get out there and take a look. But what that basically provides you is more sail area. And why would you want that? Maybe you just want to go faster. Carry a little bit more sail. On the Catalina 30s, a lot of people, they like to race them, and with that extra sail area, they can, get a speed advantage. Now, of course, there's handicap rating factors and everything like that, but they're great boats. I have raced on these boats back in the day when I used to live back in Texas. Had tons of friends that had Catalina 30s, and they are just a great, good-sized, mid-sized sailboat. Catalinas have been the largest sailboat manufacturer here in the U.S., and currently their primary and only factory is out of Largo, Florida, up near St. Petersburg, even though they did start in California and used to have a factory there. So let's get a little bit closer here. This Fun Work here, she is decked out. She has a couple solar panels. Really good size cockpit in these Catalina 30s. Something to notice as I'm taking you around on this boat, on top there she has, I think it's 9 winches is what she has. So she is rigged to race. But of course you can cruise her too. I mean, there's no rule that says you couldn't cruise her. Her canvas is in great shape. You can see right there, see how it's just beating up on top of there? We just had a rain come through here. This is boats in Fort Myers, Florida, and you can see her sheets, these lines here. As you see me take you around the boat, you'll notice that they're all in really good condition. But hey, let's get on this boat and snoop around a bit. I guess we can start here with this mainsail, and she definitely has a canvas cover. She has lazy jacks, those lines running down so that when you drop the sail, she just falls in place and doesn't fall all over the deck. Really nice. Always love that when I see it. She has a really large whisker pole. Could also be used for the really nice and large spinnaker that this boat has. Something interesting about this boat to note, and I'll get into it just a little bit when we get a little bit further up there on the foredeck, is this boat can be run in cutter, yes, as a cutter, with a staysail up front. So you'd have your Genoa and your staysail, and I'll show you that in a bit. But I do want to show some of the this woodwork. This guy has kept them covered, kept it really in good condition, and so let me show you one of these handrails. Right, here's an example of how this guy, he has kept he's kept his woodwork in great shape. And he told me something like 8 or 10 years it's been in this good a condition because he always makes sure to have his covers on everything, including on these hatches, stuff like that, so you don't get all that crazing and cracking in them. Your wood, all the finish and everything does not get all eaten up. So just really nice condition for this year, make, and model of boat. See that I picked up a few fans here, a few ducks. I do want to thank all the subscribers and fans that have subscribed to this channel as well. I really appreciate you. Now, why am I pointing to this windlass? Well, number one, it is a manual windlass, and you just put a winch handle in there and you could crank up your chain and your anchor from there. But here is where you would screw in for your staysail, and it does not have a cabled stay that goes up to the top of the mast. It actually just basically connects to the staysail and it runs off of that, and then there's a support underneath that holds it so you don't pull it out of the deck. Pretty cool little system that he showed me earlier. We got a couple anchors here. So you have a couple different options depending on what you're anchoring in, whether it's sand or mud. It's roller furling. And then down here we have our anchor chain. And we have a good amount of actual anchor chain and then some line as well in addition to that. Now, looking from the forward bow here, we do have an additional large hatch that could be opened if you wanted to scoop in wind, whether you're at anchor, or you could just keep it closed, and it does have a fan that's solar powered there. Note that this boat does have like brand new isinglass. He just doesn't have it installed right now. It is down below, and actually we'll show you that, but he keeps it in its own special little carrying case, and the stuff looks like it's brand new, and he only puts it up when he's going to take the boat out and use it because he does not want the sun to get to it, especially here in Florida. On this boat, you do have your traveler. And here, you can see underneath there the bulge. That is your traveler for your mainsail. Guys, just look how the water just beads up on this really in good shape canvas. That's what I like to see, not it soaking in and coming through and getting everything wet. All right, let's hop into this cockpit. So here's a good look at the cockpit from the companionway door entering the salon of this boat. Pretty good shape wooden table. I'm going to pop around here so I can show you the helm station. As you guys can see here, we do have the auto helm with the auto helm controller. So she does have autopilot. That's really nice. She also has a Garmin GPS map 192C, if you can't read that. And then in addition, we have a really nice compass here. And then earlier I was talking about those winches. You got a couple on port and starboard. They're Lumars. And the aft ones, you have the self-tailing. Those would be your typical normal working winches. But you do have the additional ones as well on both sides. And as we come up to the companionway door here, we do have some additional instruments. We have speed. We have a level gauge senior, which you can determine your amount of heel on the boat in degrees. And then your Raymarine ST60 Plus wind direction indicator. And over here on the port side, depth. This boat from this year, make and model, Catalina 30 Mark I tall rig. I think it's the same on just the standard rig, is about 5'4" on her draft. Before we enter in here, and then I will remove her, but this guy takes such great work. You notice his wood is in really great condition. But another thing that he does to keep the boat dry and nice is he runs a dehumidifier constantly at all times, or he runs his marine AC, depending on the situation. And it's really helped keep this boat in good condition. So let's get down below and snoop around and take a look at the rest of the boat. Hey guys, Do you need a loan to buy your new boat? So many lenders. Who to choose? Are you getting the best rate? What if the boat I want is older than 20 years old? Not to worry, my friends. Boat Snoop has a solution. As a yacht broker, I have a boat loan broker and sponsor of this channel that many of my clients use to great satisfaction. I jokingly call him my boat lending leprechaun, holding the Holy Grail in his right hand while riding a unicorn over a rainbow into a pot of gold. You might ask, Clint, why do you call him that? Because this guy, he has been in the business for over 30 years and has connections to almost every major boat lender possible. Additionally, he has a good handful of lenders that can finance a boat 21 to 30 years old, and lenders that do that are not that common. Finally, he has one lending source that can finance boats over 30 years old. That's right. It could be possible to get a loan on an antique or classic boat. To summarize, using a boat loan broker such as this saves you time, as you only have to fill out one application instead of many from a whole host of different lenders, which is time-consuming and utterly exhausting. As many of my clients have found, he'll bring to you the best financing deals he can find and that you can qualify for. If you're located in the United States, need a boat loan for $20,000 US or more, and you are interested in connecting with my personally recommended boat lending leprechaun, just email me your name and best phone number at lender@boatsnoop.com. Upon receiving your email, I will personally introduce my lender and you via email. At that point, I just fade away and let the two of you get to work on financing your new boat. All right, we'll kind of start here from the companionway hatch and we'll move on down to take a look at this boat, but there's just a bunch of interesting things on this boat. The first one, I started with you, I'm just going to go right to it, so I'm going to skip a bunch of other things real quick so that I can go over this with you, and I think it's a great idea that a lot of boaters should do. If you have a Catalina 30 or any other boat, if you really don't need to have your isinglass up, this guy has a nice pouch that it gets wrapped up in, and then in between individual sheets, he has the isinglass stored so it doesn't scratch and scuff. And that looks like it's yellowed, but it's not. That's just, but he's just kept it in great condition for the forward part of the Dodger and Bimini top, but he just does not put it up unless he's going to use it, so it just doesn't get worn out, because it can get quite spendy. So I just wanted to show you guys that. It was a great idea. Nice little pack, how he separates each layer so they don't scratch and get dinged up and other things hit it. I just thought it was cool. So all right, I'll show you the rest of the boat. We'll start back in the galley. All right, starting in this galley, the first thing to note is for a boat this size, 30-foot boat, maybe it's 29 feet 11 inches or something like that. I don't remember if we're going to be exact, but the woodwork on this is really nice and it's pretty good size for this size of boat. They do come stock with 2 sinks. The current owner of this vessel, he said, I used to own a Catalina 36, and he goes, I don't need more than 1 sink. So what he did is what they did on the Catalina 36 as stock is he removed it and he created this huge storage space. And if you remember looking back at one of my earlier videos on a Catalina 36, they have this really nice, huge storage space. What a wonderful idea. And really on this type of boat, you're not going to be piling up massive amounts of dishes. It's not what this type of boat is all about. So that's a wonderful idea. He has a really nice alcohol stove. I think he said this one's made out of, I don't see a brand name, but Norway or Sweden or something like that. And just really nice unit. He says it works really well. Back here, he actually has refrigeration. It's not just an ice box. So I'll pop this open for you really quick and so we can take a look. So here we have the refrigerated ice box. And yes, indeed, these beers or sodas or whatever they are indeed cold. It is quite a large icebox refrigerator. You can see inside that white unit, that's where you put your frozen stuff, but it's cool, it's cold, and additionally he's put a little blue fan in there. I think you can see that, and that continues to circulate the air and keep everything cool as well. And just look at the thickness on that insulation. That's really thick, so it should be fairly efficient. Now I'm standing in the galley right now, and I'm looking back at the stairs coming on down, or the ladder, and you see some cushions. Usually on a lot of boats, including Catalinas, that's where you have your engine is right there, and that's your engine access, but not on this boat. It actually is a very, very, very large quarter berth. Right now he has his seat cushions for up in the cockpit sitting right there, and a few more cushions for the inside for when you break down the dining room table there in the salon into a double bed. That's what those cushions are for. But this actually goes way back, so easily, very comfortably, 2 people. Probably cramp 3 people in there if you really want my honest opinion. That's how large it is. I know it doesn't fully show up in camera, but very large. Tell you what, I do appreciate this boat has good AC today. It is a very humid, wet, stormy Florida day. We had thunder showers come through just about an hour ago and more on their way, so I'm really enjoying that. Anyhow, we have the starboard settee here. That is large. To the best of my knowledge, that does not make out into a bed. That's just for one single person. And here behind the starboard settee, you can see there is a bunch of storage behind this. Now here's this large table here in the dining room, at the dining table, and you could easily fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people around this. Besides the fact that it does make down, you can see the little lips there that allow it to basically turn into a double bed for guests, or if you like, sleeping amidships, you yourself could sleep there in the evenings. But really nice setup. Now, the owner of this vessel told me that there was a lot of Catalina 30s out there, and they were made, so many Catalina 30s were made, such a popular boat. It's almost like the Chevy 350 of, boats, tons of them out there, tons made, people love them, that they had all kinds of different dining table arrangements. But he was telling me this was not as common as some of the ones that they had a table that folded up against the forward port bulkhead, and then it would lay out that way. This sit-around one was kind of a nice plus feature that is on this boat. Now, I'm going to come around the other direction, and we're going to take a look, because the engine is mounted amidships here, and it is a universal 11-horse diesel motor. So the engine on this boat is beneath this cushion. So let's take it apart and take a look. All right. So here is this universal diesel. And it's interesting where basically it's put in the boat, but also understand that if you take out this metal bracket, which is aftermarket stainless steel that he did to make it stronger, but if you remove this, you can remove your kitchen countertops and all that, remove this board, and you could just take that engine right out. So really good access. And you don't really have a long shaft. The shaft actually literally exits the boat just right here out of a stuffing box right there. and goes out to the prop on this boat. So interesting, easy access. That's not your through hull, but down there, that yellow valve down there below, I don't know if you can see that yellow straight down, that is the through hull that the engine and the air conditioner both share. All right, so let's head up here and check out. This boat has one head, and it indeed has a shower in it as well, and a really good sized V-berth. Additionally, just look at this woodwork, guys. I just love this. And honestly, I have this penchant for bells. I every time I see one, I just really want to ring it. It always kind of reminds me of kind of like a master and commander thing, the opening of the show when they ring it. And whenever I get a hold of one, I'm sorry, I just can't help it. All right, you guys had to put up with me for that, but I just almost can't help myself. Love bells. I don't think I've done it on this channel yet, but now you know something new about me. And just look at this woodwork. It's just, I'm a sucker for woodwork and bells, I guess. Real nice clean head. There's your shower. Something additionally about this boat. This boat did not come with these hatches like this right here on the port and starboard side. There's two of them. One here on the port and in the head, and another here. And here's the one on the starboard side. Those were added additionally. That's a really nice touch. Really lightens up this boat. Just gorgeous, beautiful. And look, you even have cutouts there of anchors on the drawers. Real neat. Additional access to storage, cabinets. Really large V-berth. I guess to put it in perspective, easily two, large, even tall people could sleep here, because you got a whole additional spinnaker in this bag here and all of its lines, and then you got your staysail up in that bag. Those don't take out just a little bit amount of room. This actually, look at that air conditioned duct. So even those in the V-berth are going to be getting some cold air here. That's another nice feature. But large V-berth. And there additionally, there's that large hatch when we're up on the foredeck that I was telling you about, up on the bow. Scoop in a ton of air, get nice flowing air in here. So that's the V-berth. And the head. We'll head back here into the salon. Well, this concludes this episode of Boat Snoop, where I snooped around with you on a 1979 Catalina 30 Mark I tall rig with bowsprit. And don't forget, she is cutter rigged. And he doesn't have it set up permanently, but it happens within minutes. So effectively, she has cutter rig, and you can throw up a staysail. Awesome for a Catalina 30 and for this age. So I really appreciate your guys' time joining me on this episode. And once again, like I always do, please hit that thumbs up, and please click and like the subscribe button. It helps the channel, and it helps you when I put up new episodes, so you can see whatever I'm up to, whatever we're snooping around on for that week or that episode. And I do want to give a shout out to all of our current subscribers and future subscribers too. Hopefully you join there. But I just really want to thank you. It's so inspiring to see your comments, and to see you join the channel, and then viewing all the different videos on the channel. So this channel isn't just about one video or one boat. If you like boats of all types, because I video boats of all types, check out the channel Boat Snoop on YouTube, and I'll see you next time.